Oh, we're telling spooky stories? I've got one. Heard this from a kid I went to camp with one time. He told me the story of Andrew. Andrew was just 18 when he saw a dead body for the first time. He had never seen one before, but there he stood at the edge of the dock with his hands shaking, a body bobbing in the water below. Swollen and blue, it barely looked human anymore. He could see bite marks from where the fish had sought a snack. Their right hand was missing a finger. Andrew glanced down at his own hands, shaking in the cold, wet weather. His whole body began to shiver. This wasn't how his night was supposed to go. He'd been coming to the docks every week with his mates to go for a fish. When they could afford to, they'd take a boat out so they could catch better fish, especially during the wetter season, when the fish would go out further and deeper because of the rain. Andrew didn't know all that much about fishing, but his mate Jason really liked to take up new hobbies spontaneously, so they started fishing a couple months back. Jason said he found it relaxing, said it was a good place to think. Andrew wasn't very good at fishing, but he enjoyed the quiet. It had been one of those quiet nights when neither boy felt like talking. They'd just sat on the dock with their rods cast, waiting for a bite. When it was nearing midnight, the boys decided to call it a night. They packed up all their gear and were heading back down along the dock. Andrew had seen it first. The shimmer of something in the water. When he'd looked closer, he saw it was a gold watch attached to the wrist of a dead body. They didn't know the name of the man in the water, and they never would. Jason made Andrew swear they would never mention this to anyone. He said, "Someone else will find it and call the cops. We can't be involved in this kind of trouble. They'll think we did it. We're the only ones who've been coming here." Andrew had feared that Jason was right. They never went back to the docks. Jason decided his new hobby would be indoor rock climbing. Andrew declined to take part. Instead, he spent his days waiting to hear about a body found in the water by the docks. Weeks passed and he started to think they'd imagined it. They hadn't really seen a dead body. Someone had pranked them, or it was a trick of the light or something. They'd had a few drinks that night. Only a few, though. But still, something didn't sit right with Andrew. It gnawed at him. The marks of teeth in the bloated blue skin, chunks of missing flesh with no blood, the missing finger on the right hand, the gold watch. He'd thought about that watch often. It reminded him of his father's favourite watch, the watch he'd been wearing the night he went missing.